Good morning. Well, it's morning here, and welcome to another tabletop talk and draw. That's a mouthful sometimes. Anyways, today we have a private commission done for Brian, and it is a character named Rocky. And so the interesting thing about this character to me is that he's the son of Ben Grimm, but we only wanted to hint at that. And Brian was very specific in sort of the things that Rocky is wearing and the pose that Rocky had. He sent me a lot of good reference, which I very much appreciated. That makes my job a lot easier. Um, and I sort of done a rough pencil sketch, scanned it in, and then worked on a little bit more before I started recording. So we're jumping right into the inking here. And what's fun about this character is that he's going to be orange, and yeah, that'll be interesting to work with. Um, so right now I'm just working on the blacks and I am. Oh, you saw my little goof there. I filled the whole screen with black, thinking I had a pen selected, but I actually had the paint bucket selected. Control Z is my friend. Um, I use it all the time. So one of the things that he wanted was sort of a white puffy vest, and so um, I decided that I was going to kind of do the puffiness, the sort of there's the waffle pattern or something like that, but I'll do that in color. So I wasn't going to ink that. I'm just kind of inking the major, um, you know, uh, shapes and lines that might come about. Um, and then one of the other requests that Brian made was that he'd sort of hearken to Rocky hearken to sort of Ben Grimm's classic blue pants. So he's going to have both a tunic and underneath that vest, and sort of the shorts that make sense for not only a boxer but the son of the Thing. And so this, yeah, I didn't like those that shape, so I went in there and you know, again, Control Z is my friend. I tilt my screen sometimes because sometimes my hand when I'm drawing on the drawing monitor just doesn't want to do an angle. And so if I angle the artwork, then I find that it's easier to do the stroke. So you'll see me sometimes turn the whole frame of reference, the whole piece of artwork there. So another mistake I made, which was sort of annoying to deal with, is that I did some little minor changes on the legs, and I put it on the wrong layer. I put it on my inking layer. So when I got down to the legs, I'm like, oh, there's all this cleanup I have to do. Um, you know, Having sort of layer discipline is very important. Right now I only have two layers. You might not be able to see because my head might be obscuring some of that, but I often have up to six, eight on really complicated pieces. I'll have 12, 13, and when you draw on the wrong layer, it is so annoying. Because you think you're doing one thing, and the reason you draw in layers is so you can select certain things very quickly or do certain actions like multiply or overlay or something like that. um, yeah, I just made that foot a little bit bigger, and then I have to kind of go and retouch that. You can see me sort of going in and getting those light gray marks. Now I had some light gray marks inside the form, like on the see. I went and got Ben Grimm's color and started putting that in. Um, Anyways, getting back to the gray inside the form, those I left alone because the ink layer which I duplicated is on a multiply layer, so those grays will just be extra texture and shadow. on top of whatever I'm coloring underneath. So I have two layers. I have the multiply layers on top, and then I have a regular layer of ink underneath, which I can then fill with the paint bucket very quickly. And then I might have to go in and paint in some of the things that the little artifacts that get missed, little areas that might not fill in completely with the paint bucket. So, that's just sort of normal stuff. And I'm, you know, trying to get some highlights in here on the skin tones and some shadows and stuff like that. Get in that, that classic blue from the Fantastic Four. I think I sort of shifted a little bit to a bluer gray, but I knew I was going to have a little bit of highlights in here, so that could push the blue more to a lighter blue in the lit areas. Getting in that sort of championship belt. Brian had a very specific reference for the belt buckle, which I used. So it's really nice if you ever want to commission me. Um, Having good reference, big deal. It makes my life so much easier, because not only do I have a sense of what to draw, and I don't have to go around and do the research myself, but I also have a sense of what the client wants. The client says I'm wanting this, and then I can maybe tweak it a little bit and take some liberties. One of the liberties that will be coming up that I take, that Brian didn't ask for, was I just hinted a little bit at the cracks and the cragginess, the sort of the lines that are on the thing's skin. I didn't want to like bust any intellectual property situations too badly. So I just hinted at it. In fact, he came back to me and said, "Can you get rid of them on the face?" Which I did, and then I even lightened them up a little bit more, and just to sort of say, here's a nod to the thing's, heritage, his legacy. So, anyways, there you have it. We're getting close to the end, and I hope you enjoyed this quick little table talk and draw. Talk to you later.